Fala, Nick Fans! Beleza? Sou Victor Hatba, do canal Nick Fans Brasil, galera. Hoje vamos ter a super live no canal Nick Fans Brasil. Hoje, eu, Victor Hatba e Bruno Gonçalves vamos ter a honra de receber no canal nada mais, nada menos do que ela, Ashley Nicole Moss. It's a honor. It's a honor, Ashley. Bruno will be a interpreter, né, translator, né, dessa live. Enfim, vamos começar essa super live. Welcome to the Nick Fans Brasil channel, Ashley Nicole Moss.
Hi, I'm so excited to finally be here. I know it's been a while. It's been a long time coming, but we finally got it together. We're finally here.
That's great. That's great. I am so happy, really. Bruno, first question, né, for Ashley. Vamos lá. Ashley, o canal Nick Fans Brasil é acompanhado por várias outras franquias além do New York Knicks. Então, eu gostaria, se você pudesse, fazer uma introdução, se apresentar ao público brasileiro, falar um pouquinho sobre quem é Ashley Nicole Moss.
Yeah, you're very famous here in Brazil, but we receive a lot of people in the different countries and in a different team here. And Victor asked to you introduce yourself.
Wow, first of all, I love the fact that I'm famous in Brazil. Brazil's a beautiful country, and I can't wait to visit one day. So that's incredible to hear. That's very cool to hear also. So thank you. So I am a reporter for Sports Illustrated. I'm on air with them. I also do things with LeBron James's company, Uninterrupted. I host a podcast for them. In New York, I cover the Knicks for SNY. So during the season, you can find me on the show talking all things Knicks, good and bad. And then also I'm here with you guys right now. So it's a lot going on, but I'm very, very blessed and very, very fortunate.
Great.
Oh,
Bruno,
great.
translate.
Obrigado. Ela falou, né, Victor, que trabalhou, né? Que primeiramente ela falou que é muito bom ouvir aqui, né? Que a gente aqui no Brasil, que é um país que ela acha muito bonito, que ela é famosa no Brasil. E ela disse principalmente, né, Victor, que o trabalho dela começou, por exemplo, na Sports Illustrated, né, e tal, e depois ela cobriu o Knicks durante vários anos, né, e tal, e que isso foi um processo muito bom, né, gratificante para ela e que continua sendo até hoje.
Agora vamos falar então, Ashley. Vamos falar agora de New York Knicks, né?
Só um segundinho.
New York Knicks. Como que começou, né, a tua paixão, seu amor pelo New York Knicks?
Yeah, Victor asked how began your passion for the Knicks, for example, when this started.
Wow, my passion. So I'm born and raised in New York. New York is my home, New York City to be exact. And I didn't really have much of a choice. My dad is a diehard Knicks fan, has been his entire life. So when I was just a little baby, I was watching Knicks games. Before I had a chance to pick any other team, my dad said, nope, you're going to be a Knicks fan. And I've been a Knicks fan ever since. Even when I worked with other teams, I worked with the Miami Heat for a little while. And of course, when you work for a team, you got to support them. And as a Knicks fan, it was a little hard for me because you know the Heat and the Knicks, but I've always been a Knicks fan, good and bad, and will always continue to be a Knicks fan. So shout out to my dad and shout out to New York City for making me a Knicks fan.
Great.
Ela disse, né, Victor, que ela, por ser nativa, né, e o pai dela também ser um torcedor assíduo do Knicks, né, tudo isso contribuiu, né, para que ela torcesse para o Knicks e tal, né, então foi uma boa questão. E o seguinte é que o fato dela ter cobrido o Miami também ter esse trabalho, né, poderia às vezes fazer com que ela mudasse de time, né? Mas essa questão do pai dela e todo esse contexto, né, cultural de viver assim, fez com que ela torcesse pro Knicks, né? Tanto nos bons momentos quanto nos momentos ruins também.
Quero falar uma curiosidade para Ashley, né? Eu, por exemplo, sou Knicks desde 92, 92. I am Knicks fan since 92. Né?
Wow.
I am. Como é que fala 41 anos, Bruno? 41.
41 years old.
Wow, I've been a Knicks fan since 93. I was born in 93, so.
Wow. I was, como é que é? 12 não, 13 years, né?
Okay, well look, it's been a long time for both of us. That's okay.
Yes. Oh, my daughter called Isabel. 3 years. She has 3 years, Ash. Funko, my daughter.
So cute.
Yeah, my daughter is Knicks fan too.
Well, at least she knows what it's like to see some winning Knicks games. When I was her age, I wasn't so lucky.
ela disse, né, Vitor, que bom que ela tá sendo torcedora do Knicks agora, né? Porque na mesma idade dela não teve tanta sorte.
É difícil. It's hard. Next question. Vamos lá. Next question. Qual foi o momento que você se sentiu mais conectada com a franquia? Qual foi o momento mais incrível que você viveu cobrindo o time ou acompanhando um jogo do New York Knicks?
Yeah, how was the most incredible moment you had with the Knicks? You remember, for example, you can share with us.
I would say for me, it was when Carmelo came back to New York. I think that was probably still, I mean, the playoffs last year obviously was a great time, right? But for me, I've been a Carmelo Anthony fan since he played at Syracuse, and he's been one of my favorite players, for my entire life. So being able to see Carmelo come back home and, all the success that we had with him, and it was a really cool moment, and the Garden was special. The city was special, having the hometown guy of Carmelo Anthony come back, and being able to win with him, even if it's in a small amount, we still were able to see some level of success, and that was really exciting, not only as a New Yorker but as a Carmelo Anthony fan. So that's probably that's next to after last season and the playoffs and the incredible season we had. That's probably my favorite memory.
Great.
Ela disse, né, Vitor, que foi a volta do Carmelo a Nova York, né, que foi um momento muito especial, né, porque ela também é muito fã do Carmelo Anthony, né, e ela disse o seguinte, que dividido, né, com a temporada que o Knicks fez da temporada passada, é um dos momentos mais gratificantes para ela, né, que foi um dos momentos mais incríveis que ela viu.
Resumindo, né, Bruno, o Carmelo Anthony para Ashley, o Patrick Ewing foi para mim quando eu comecei, né? Quando Victor start Knicks fan, because Patrick Ewing.
Yeah.
Do you understand, né?
I do, that I understand, definitely.
Como é que o Die Hard Knicks falou, Bruno? I speak orange and blue, language universal. And Knicks fans.
Universal language,
Vamos lá, next question. Como que você, Ashley, analisa o atual momento do New York Knicks?
Yeah, Ashley, what are your thoughts about the Knicks right now? What the Knicks doing? Talking about everything about the team, for example, what do you think about this team and what we going in the future?
Yeah, it's unfortunate because we were a team last season that, although that we weren't the most talented when it came to scoring, we had an identity, and that identity was defense, right? So we would step on the court and we would believe that, we could beat you. Even if, technically we couldn't, we had the mindset that we were going to make it hard for you and we were going to give it our best. I think this season we don't see that. We see a team that looks lost out there. They don't really know who they are. They don't really know as individuals what their role is. And it looks like a lot of the time they don't know how to play together as a team. And I think that that's the most unfortunate thing is not having the same identity that we had last season. And, everything else will fall into place. But I think, what separates a good team and a great team is that a great team knows always who they are. So when their back is against the wall, they can always, resort back to their identity and what their core is. And we haven't seen that from this Knicks team. I think that's the biggest takeaway from the first half of the season.
Ela disse, né? Ela disse, né, Vitor, que o grande complicado, né, que é diferente da temporada passada, né, e tal, que tipo, o Knicks jogou com uma identidade, né, que tinha uma cara, por exemplo, que a equipe nessa temporada, infelizmente, não está mostrando isso. E equipes grandes, né, o que tem um potencial para serem grandes, assim, com jogadores talentosos e tal, geralmente, quando elas são jogadas contra o muro, né, se a gente pode usar essa expressão, elas mostram do que elas são feitas, né? Infelizmente, o Knicks nessa temporada não mostrou isso, então é difícil dizer como as coisas vão no futuro.
Ashley, I love so much New York Knicks. Do you? I am sad in this season. I am sad, really sad.
We're all sad, not just you. We're all sad.
Yeah. Como é que fala? Otimista? Optimist?
Yeah,
I am optimist. Yeah, I am optimist with your New York Knicks.
Yeah, it's hard to be optimistic with what you're seeing, though. It's hard.
Yes. Very hard, very hard, very hard. Como é que é? Até para mim, for me too. Ó, vamos lá, próxima pergunta. Next question. Ó, qual jogador do time que você mais se decepcionou na temporada, até o momento, lógico, e qual que mais te agradou, Ashley?
Yeah, about the players, what player was a disappointment to you, and what was the surprise, a good surprise for you?
Disappointment is such a strong word because I feel like players, they're harder on themselves than the fans could ever be. Obviously, Julius Randle's decline has been a disappointment to a lot of us, especially coming off of his incredible season last year. I think that Kemba Walker also, bringing him home, I think that, it's slightly a disappointment because you wanted him to succeed in New York. I think that there's a lot of things, though, that have attributed to the fact that the team hasn't played well. So I don't like to put it just on one singular person. But on a positive note, RJ Barrett, who I absolutely love, just continues to grow and continues to be an incredible player on and off the court and just be everything that I knew he could be. He's going to be a leader of this team. Obi Toppin's really coming into his own as a player, which, I'm happy because I know a lot of people were kind of doubting him last season. Overall, the young guys just look really impressive. There's just so much promise and just so much room for growth and development with them that, although this season hasn't gone well for us, there's a lot of optimism on what this team can look like, especially with a lot of those young guys still in the picture. So,
yes.
Oh, yeah. Ela disse, né, Vitor, que a palavra, né, desapontamento, enfim, né, descontentamento, assim,
muito
às
forte.
vezes pode soar muito forte, exatamente, mas assim, que é um pouco frustrante até, de certa forma, né, principalmente o que aconteceu com o Kemba Walker, né, de vir para Nova York, que é um jogador da cidade, por exemplo, também, né, citou como exemplo, e é o que acontece com ele, né, jogando dessa forma na temporada. E do lado positivo, né, ela citou, por exemplo, a questão do RJ Barrett, né, que vem crescendo muito, né, durante os jogos e tal, vem tendo boas atuações, infelizmente se machucou, né, mas que vem sendo a grata surpresa, não porque a gente não espera nada dele, porque simplesmente ele está apresentando um bom basquetebol e agora é só a questão da consistência, né?
Ah, com certeza. Com certeza. Mas olha, Ashley, look, vamos falar agora, né? Let's talk. My favorite player. I am very suspect para falar, né? To talk about this. RJ Barrett.
Yes!
RJ Barrett. Vamos lá, Ashley, vamos falar sobre RJ Barrett. Quero sua opinião, Ashley. Você acredita que RJ Barrett pode vir a ser um futuro All-Star?
Yeah, Victor wants to know what your opinion about RJ Barrett. You really believe will be a star in the future, for example?
I 100% agree.
Ah.
I've been a big fan of RJ Barrett since we drafted him, and I know that a lot of times Knicks fans can be a little bit impatient when it comes to their players, and RJ probably has taken longer to develop than some Knicks fans would like. But I think you also have to remember he's so young. So really, in terms of development, he's not really behind. He's right where he's actually past where somebody who just got out of college would be. We just got him so young. I think sometimes the expectations were a little bit high for him. But look, I will say for a player so young to have the impact that he has had on this team in a city like New York, which is not very easy to play in. It's extremely difficult to play in. He just gets better each and every season, and you can see it. You can visibly see it on the court, how much better he gets each and every year. He works at his game. He's just really poised. He doesn't get frazzled. He doesn't get angry. He's just very focused on each play, each possession. And that's all you can want. And to see that kind of leadership and that kind of calmness from somebody who's only 21 years old. I mean, when we were losing, he was facing the media like a 25, 26-year-old player. I mean, he was doing it like he's been doing it his entire life. So I think the sky's the limit for RJ Barrett. And I'm such a fan of who I call the Nine God. And I'm looking forward to seeing what RJ brings for many, many years to come.
I am suspect, né? About Jared, but okay. Bruno.
Ela disse, né, Vitor, que ela concorda 100%, ela acredita 100% que o RJ Barrett vai ser um All-Star no futuro, né, e tal, que ele praticamente já tá em números de All-Stars, só falta a consistência, né, e que se você for ver, é muito complicado, né, porque os torcedores do Knicks que esperam tanto de um bom time, de bons jogadores, por exemplo, né, um jogador igual o RJ Barrett, que veio muito novo, né? Ele com 3 anos na liga ainda continua sendo o jogador mais jovem do Knicks.
Sim.
Né? E tendo que mostrar bons números, e vem mostrando, vem jogando, né? Vem jogando bem, tendo boas apresentações e tal. E que ele mostra isso tudo na própria mentalidade, na forma de jogar, quando ele faz infiltrações, quando ele busca o jogo, né? Então é um jogador que tem todo o potencial e que falta poucos detalhes para que ele possa ser esse jogador.
I totally agree. Né? I agree with you, Ashley. I like your opinion. I like.
Thank you.
Next question. A pergunta, né? Lógico, a temporada do Knicks não tá bem, né? Então você apostaria em um rebuild do time para a próxima temporada, devido ao que aconteceu até o momento?
Yeah, actually, what do you think about the moment with the Knicks? You think the Knicks going in direction, for example, try to go to the playoffs, or you think they will try to rebuild or something like that?
I think whenever you talk about a professional sports team, asking them to tank or asking them to lose, is unrealistic. You know what I mean? These are professionals. These are guys who play at the highest competitive level there is. So they're not going to go ahead and tank. They're not thinking about draft picks and lottery picks. It's just not the way that they're wired. So I know that Knicks fans would like that, but it's not going to happen. I will say though that the catch-22 with playoffs is that, you run the risk because if you make the playoffs, you make this team subconsciously think that they're further along than what they actually are. And if they don't make the playoffs, then that could also be, fuel to want to work harder. So it kind of depends on what end of the spectrum you find yourself on. Do you think making the playoffs is good for the ego or it's bad for the ego? I'm on the line of just play the type of basketball that you've been playing and don't try to be something different, but also while doing that, try to improve, understand where this team is at this moment in time and just know that they're not ready yet, but also don't just throw in the towel. Use the second half of the season to work out the problems, figure out what you can fix, figure out what needs to be fixed in the off season, and come back next season as a brand new and better team. I think that there's somewhere in the middle that's the sweet spot. Don't underachieve, but don't try to overachieve either.
Oh, não.
Great.
Ela disse, né, Vitor, que primeiramente que é muito complicado quando muitas vezes se pensa em jogar, por exemplo, tancando ou perdendo, enfim, que é a mentalidade que quando se fala de esportes profissionais, né, é muito difícil que alguém vá tomar, né, porque é algo que até de certa forma, eu não diria antiético, mas é algo ruim, né, ter uma mentalidade perdedora e querer buscar escolhas de draft e essas situações, né. Então, isso ela acredita que não vai acontecer de forma nenhuma, né, e que ela, com relação ao time, né, ela tem uma pequena preocupação que é a respeito do Knicks, por exemplo, ir para os playoffs, mas fazer uma corrida assim, simplesmente para ir para os playoffs de qualquer forma, né, e não entender exatamente por causa do ego e da vontade de ir para os playoffs, para poder dizer que foi e tal, né, que não é o caminho. Que a equipe tem que aproveitar essa segunda parte agora da temporada para entender o que vem fazendo de errado e tentar aprimorar para que resolva nessa temporada e para a próxima como um time que possa direcionar o seu futuro, entendeu?
Com certeza. Mas só vou fazer um comentário bem rápido, quickly, né? Eu odeio perder. I hate loser. Odeio perder. And tank. For me, no. But
yeah, me too. No tank. Team no tank.
Yes. Próximo, vamos lá. Next. Ó, quais atletas você abriria mão do time nesse momento, caso, né, haja uma reconstrução?
Yeah. About if the team will rebuild, for example, if you get selection, for example, some players to be assets in a trade, for example, you have some players in mind, or you think no, that the Knicks need to go in another direction if they want to rebuild?
I think, when rebuilding, I think age should always be a factor, right? You want to rebuild with players. You want to rebuild your team where you're majorly young, right? You don't want to build with a team, a bunch of, older guys, because then you're the Lakers, you know what I mean? And that's a whole different situation. So I think with the Knicks, I think there are a lot of good pieces on this team. I think it's about locking down a point guard, whether that point guard is a veteran point guard or a point guard that you're willing to take the time to develop. That's a conversation the front office has to have. You have Quickly, you have D Rose. If you go ahead and you get a younger point guard, you run the risk of him not being ready to go right away, right? So you're going to have to go ahead and see if you can develop him. If you can develop him, then cool, do that. But if you can't, then you have to go with someone that you feel is ready right away. I will also say that I like the idea of Zion. You know what I mean? I like Zion in New York. The only thing with Zion is what version of Zion are you going to get? We haven't really seen him play. He's not at the best shape. So you would need a lot of things to happen from Zion in terms of his development to see if he would be an intricate piece. But the chemistry is probably already there. He knows RJ. He knows Cam Reddish. So that's the least of your problems. It's just what version of Zion are you going to get? I feel like there's multiple ways to go. We just got to figure out which way, the Knicks want to go. I don't mind developing what we have. But some people want an instant fix, and the Knicks might want an instant fix. It depends on what they're looking for.
Yes. Zion no Knicks, aproveitando o João Pelicanos do Brasil, ó. Zion no Nicão, Pelicanos. Fala aí, Bruno. Só explica para ela por que eu brinquei, né? Tá multi.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, Victor joke because he have a friend. He's a Pelicans fan, so we joking around because Zion go to the Knicks. It's something really really fun.
They're not trying to lose Zion. That I know.
Yeah.
Só tenta ser sucinto aí, Bruno, por causa do tempo da live.
Tá. Não, beleza. Ela tava falando, né, Vitor, que depende muitas coisas, às vezes, né, a reconstrução depende da idade dos jogadores, né? E ela
Sim.
citou alguns jogadores do Knicks, né, e tal, e que tem que ver basicamente quais jogadores que a equipe realmente acredita, né, pro futuro, né, e tal, porque o Knicks tem sim jogadores jovens talentosos, né, Cam Reddish, RJ Barrett, né, Quickley, Grimes e outros.
Exato.
Então basicamente é o que o Knicks precisa ver no momento, né, para ver o que pode fazer.
Ah, com certeza. E vamos pegar aqui agora na veia agora, ó. Seguinte, Ashley, qual a avaliação, né, do trabalho, na sua opinião, do front office e a comissão técnica nessa temporada?
Yeah, about the coaching staff and the front office, what you can evaluate this work, for example? You think they did a good job or not? What your opinion about that?
I think the front office did what they had to do to immediately improve the roster. It just didn't work. It wouldn't be the first time that a team thought they were making the right decisions and those decisions didn't pan out. I think that there's room for improvement on all ends. I think that the front office has an opportunity to remedy some of the mistakes that they made this past offseason and also the mistakes they made at the trade deadline by not making any moves. I think also Tibbs has an opportunity to remedy some of his shortcomings as a coach. There are some things that he does that are really, really good. And then there are some things that he does that are questionable. So I feel like this is kind of a learning season for the Knicks. I know fans don't want to hear that, especially coming off of a playoff season. But I think that anytime you're rebuilding, there are trials and tribulations, and there's ups and there's downs. And I don't think that, Tibbs is not the right coach. I don't think that everyone in the front office needs to be fired. I just think that, there are adjustments that have to be made. And I think that there are things that have to be discussed in the offseason, getting a clear idea of what this team needs to look like and what they want to look like will really help everyone just know their roles better as individuals.
Ela disse, né, Vitor, que nessa temporada foi meio complicado, né? A questão principalmente pro front office. Ela acha que eles fizeram alguns movimentos que não foram bons, mas que ela não considera que o front office seja ruim, entendeu? E isso também exatamente se aplica aos técnicos, a comissão técnica, na verdade, né, num contexto geral, em que, na verdade, as coisas, quando você está num processo de reconstrução, que você tenta montar uma equipe, geralmente as coisas podem não ir tão bem de uma temporada para outra, enfim, que isso pode acontecer, né? Então, o que eles precisam ver é enxergar onde que estão errando, ver qual o movimento que eles têm que fazer para poder melhorar essa equipe para o futuro.
Ashley, queria fazer um comentário contigo. Seguinte, o Knicks Fans Brasil está projetando uma excursão para Nova York ano que vem. E, sinceramente, vai ser uma honra se eu puder, o Bruno, né? O Bruno, entre outros Knicks fans aqui do Brasil, conhecer vocês aí nos Estados Unidos. Vai ser uma honra, sabe? Ter essa chance. Então, eu gostaria de aproveitar essa live e comentar com você, né? E depois, quero te mandar nos bastidores um videoclipe que a gente fez da torcida do Knicks, para não atrapalhar o tempo da live, né? Vou mandar nos bastidores para você, no link. Mas queria dizer que a gente vai estar em Nova York e vai ser uma honra se puder conhecer todos vocês. Você, o Ari, né? Cara, Ari, great guy. Entre outras pessoas aí nos Estados Unidos.
Yeah, Victor mentioned we intend to visit New York in the next year, 2023, and will be a great opportunity if you can, of course, to meet you face to face and talk with you about the Knicks. And we intend to go. I don't know in the time, but we go with 20 people here, and will be something really nice. And another thing is Victor intend to show you in the backstage the tribute video what we did here in Brazil for the Knicks.
Wow, that's amazing. Definitely. We have to my good friend Anthony, MSG, you guys know him. We'll definitely have to get you guys to a Knicks game and show you the garden and all that.
Wow.
Listen, if you're going to come to New York City, you need the full New York Knicks experience. So that definitely sounds like something we can do for you guys for sure.
Opa. Deu para entender, né, Bruninho? Vai ser uma honra, Ashley. Vai ser uma honra. Ashley, quero aqui, ó. Já está dando tempo, né, Bruno? Quero agradecer, Ashley, so much. Thank you so much, so much. Né? Quero respeitar o seu tempo, né? Respeitar o tempo aí que você comentou com a gente. Mas, cara, adorei demais, Ashley. Adorei demais. I like so much, né? Fazer essa live com você. Só posso desejar a você, ó, muito, muito, muito sucesso na sua carreira. Que, ó, eu tenho certeza que não parou ainda. Você vai decolar cada vez mais. Você é uma grande profissional, uma grande jornalista, né? Adoro demais o teu trabalho, né? E tenho certeza que ainda vou te ver, ó, muito longe ainda.
Yeah, Victor said he wished you the best. Thank you so much for being here with us. For us, it's something really good, so special moment. And we wish the best to you forever, and thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, and I love what you guys are doing for the Knicks fans, you know, internationally. I think that people think Knicks fans are just in New York. We're international, and it's incredible that you guys are creating a platform to connect Knicks fans all across the globe, and I thank you so much for having me. It's truly been an honor. Thank you guys so much.
Ela disse, né, Victor, que ela agradeceu novamente também, né, e disse que para ela é muito bom estar aqui, né, e ver que o Knicks tem torcedores em volta do mundo, né, inteiro, e que isso é muito gratificante, né, então eu desejo sucesso para a gente também.
Great. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you, Bruno, né, again.
Yes, shout out to Bruno.
Again, ó, Bruno, our interpreter. Forgive my English.
No reason to apologize. I understood you just fine.
Thank you. E todo mundo, né? Everybody see this live. Obrigado para todo mundo também que viu essa live. Beleza, pessoal? Enfim, até a próxima, Knicks fans!